What's up, guys? It's Dwayne, back again for another video, back again for another reaction, and today's a great, wonderful, beautiful day because it's another Sweden day. Inside the Swedish city where gun violence is on the rise. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
Det är jättelätt. Det är lätt att få betalt på vapen i Malmö.
This is body armor, right? Bulletproof vest. Why are you wearing this?
För jag har det för att skydda mitt liv. Det är den enda anledningen, och testa den för att kolla om den är bra. Den tar jävligt bra.
It's been tested, it takes good shots. Is that a test there? Wow.
This is body armor, right? Bulletproof vest. Why are you wearing this?
För jag har det för att skydda mitt liv. Det är den enda anledningen, och testa den för att kolla om den är bra. Den tar jävligt bra skott, ska jag säga. Så den är bra att ha.
We've got to keep our country safe. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible.
Donald Trump's recent comments highlighting a non-existent terrorist attack in Sweden have put the country's crime rate into the global spotlight. But while the terrorist incident might not have happened, and the crime rate in Sweden has only been rising modestly, one city does have a real problem with gang violence.
What city is that?
Sweden's
Malmö.
third largest city, has seen a spike in shootings this year already. Given Sweden's reputation as a refugee-friendly country, many commentators have been quick to point the finger. And now,
Where's Malmo? I will not be going. It's not on my list to go anyways. But yeah. Let me know in the comment section if you're from Malmo. And let me know what it's like. It seems quite like a normal city and quite peaceful, but let me know what it's like living there.
Hysteria from both the left and the right is overshadowing the facts. We went to speak to some of those caught up in the violence in Malmö.
Men jag har alltid trott att det händer mellan kriminella, och det kommer inte röra oss på något sätt. Vi som är typ högutbildade och har bra jobb. Men när det kommer till Ahmed, alltså ingen vet, för att han var en bra kille.
Ahmed Obeid was just 16 when he was shot dead at a bus stop.
Wow.
It was one of 13 shootings in Malmö in January, 2 of them fatal. His cousin says Ahmed's killing shows why people in the community don't feel safe.
They shot him at a bus stop for no reason. For no reason. I know that I shouldn't. It's horrible what's happened, but I am skeptical. Skeptical. I can't even say the word, but I am a bit. Just because if he stood at a bus stop, you don't just go to a bus stop and shoot indiscriminately. You don't just shoot a random person. They must have been looking for someone. Either it was a mistaken identity and they shot the wrong person, or unfortunately that young 16-year-old was involved in some probably gang violence or drugs. It just is what it is. People are not stupid. Like, if they're looking for someone, they know what that person looks like. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Ja, problemet är att politiker klagar alltid på budget. Att budget räcker inte med flera poliser, och budget räcker inte med att ha mördare alltså flera år. Typ istället för 14 år, de bara släpps efter några år.
That's bad. To be let out in a couple of years instead of getting like a long sentence for killing someone. Let out after 2 years after killing someone or shooting someone. That's horrific.
Police say they've no evidence or reasons to suspect that Ahmed was in a gang, but many young people in Malmö are.
Det är utveckling. Alltså det har varit typ mindre kriminella för 2 år sedan. Alltså under de 2 år sedan, de har börjat kriminella, alltså rekrytera de ungdomar för att de får inte det, att de får lättare straff.
Yeah, they get less criminal. Like if you a young person is not going to be put in prison for a long period of time, so it's easy for them to recruit them and get them to do stuff. And this kid probably was involved in drugs. He was involved in, probably got recruited into gangs. The family might think, oh, he's a nice boy, but everyone's been a teenager, right? You guys have been teenagers. I've been a teenager. If you want to hide something from your parents, you can hide it from your parents. Everyone knows this. That we forget as adults that we used to be very young, and we remember being very young. And if we wanted to hide something that we didn't want our parents to know, we could do that. And a lot of parents think they know their children, but they actually don't know what their children are up to when they're going out on the streets. So, unfortunately, he probably was involved in gang violence.
Det är därför vi ville hårdare straff för ungdomar. Framför allt för att det är lätt att kreditera dem.
The unemployment rate for foreign-born men between 16 and 64 in Malmö is 30%. That compares with 8% nationally. The Swedish government seems to have pushed Malmö's migrant population into a corner and forgotten about them. This, coupled with the lack of employment and easy access to weapons, has created a perfect storm. A lack of skilled work, housing issues, failed assimilation and lenient laws towards violence all plays a role in the very real problems Malmö is facing.
So we're on our way to meet a gang member here in Malmö because the violence has gotten a lot worse in the last month. So we're going to speak to them and find out why they think this is. Do you carry a gun?
Yes. Det är jättelätt. Det är lätt att få tag på vapen i Malmö. Det är bra pris. Enkelt.
This
So it's very easy, good price.
is body armor, right? Bulletproof vest. Why are you wearing this?
För jag har det för att skydda mitt liv. Det är den enda anledningen och det känns tryggt med det. Det känns bra när jag har det på mig.
This looks like it's been shot. What happened?
Testa den för att kolla om den är bra. Den tar jävligt bra skott ska jag säga. Så den är bra att ha.
Who controls these gangs? Is it mostly younger people at the bottom and somebody controls it at the top, or is it something different?
Det är unga människor som bestämmer nu för tiden. Alla vill bestämma i Malmö och det slutar så här. Så enkelt är det.
So it's young people that control the gangs.
De tänker låt dem ta slut på varandra. Det är bara invandrare som dör också. Det är inga svenskar som dör. Inga kalle som blir skjuten eller... De blir mindre för fan. Det är så de tänker tror jag.
Police in Malmö seized around 600 weapons last year, some of them semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. Despite police confiscations, there's no shortage of guns on the streets.
Wow.
One of the main criticisms of the police in Malmö is that they don't have enough officers on the ground. They say they're under-resourced, outnumbered, and with Sweden's lenient laws, their power to lock up the criminals they do catch is also diminished.
In my vision or my dream, I would like to have, for example, around 10 police officers working maybe from early morning to midnight in this area.
So you don't even have 10 police officers in this area?
No, we have 6 police officers. Well, I would like to have lots of cameras because we have a big problem with people don't dare to speak with us. And if we had more cameras, maybe we didn't need that many witnesses. But in Malmö, we also have a problem with the investigation. We have too few people that investigate the crimes, and that's not good at all.
Your police just seem like they're underfunded, under-resourced, like not enough police on the street, too lenient. See, I know Sweden's just a really good place and you do look after your citizens. It's just, I just feel like with this happening, I think your country's probably going to tighten up on its leniency. And what I like about Sweden is that you are very fair and you are very accommodating to people and you give people chances. How many chances can you give people until you're like, actually, no, we're going to, tighten up this sentence. It's going to be longer for doing these crimes. You're going to get, prisons are going to be less fun to stay in. You're going to get less privileges when you're in prison. I feel like that's going to happen. It's inevitable that's going to happen. And it's a bit of a shame because I like the aspect of rehabilitation that a lot of Nordic countries have. And I think Sweden has as well. I actually haven't learned a lot about Swedish prisons, but I feel like you guys have that kind of same concept. And it's a shame that has to change, but it probably is going to change because I think I think Sweden's struggling with gang violence and gun violence. It's a shame though.
Ahmed remains one of Malmö's many unsolved murders. The police are still investigating.
Do you think the criminals know that they're probably not going to get arrested or they're probably not going to go to jail for very long? Do you think they play on that and that's why they perhaps are so brazen with their crimes?
It's definitely one reason, I think. If the last year, all the murders that's happened, nobody has gone convicted for that.
In the last year?
Yeah.
How many?
Nobody's being convicted for the murders. So like, they're being murdered and no one's being convicted. That's so bad. So then killers are still on the streets. They haven't caught the killers. So they're just going to continue doing that.
How many murders were there last year?
12. 12.
12 murders and no one's been convicted yet?
No.
So you know what happens when you have 12 murders, 12 people being murdered and murdered by rival gangs, then you know what happens? That's someone's brother, that's someone's uncle, that's someone's dad, or that's someone's, friend. That it's almost like radicalization, right? Their friend might not have been involved in gangs, but then when his friend gets killed, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to pick up a gun and take revenge on. And it's just a cycle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So there's 12, but probably the year after, there's going to be probably 20. Because it starts a gang war. That none of them have been convicted is so bad. That's really bad.
Problems in Malmö might be concentrated to a small area, but they are being largely ignored. And now, with Trump's misinformed comments, the situation is being amplified without being understood. Meanwhile, families like Ahmed Obeid's continue to be victims of the violence.
So I know this is not old, but quite a few years back, because obviously he's talking about Trump. Trump was obviously in power at this point. I doubt that it's got any better. Let me know in the comment section below if your gun crime and deaths by gang violence, has that improved? I'd probably not. It's really sad. It's really sad. And just looking at that young lad there with the flowers, look, he can't be more than, I don't know, he looks 14, 15. He can't be more than 15 years old. And his life has been lost needlessly. He should still be here. I don't live in Sweden and I can't, judge or say whatever, but in my opinion, there's more needs to be done in Sweden to tackle gun violence and gang violence and radicalization of young people. Yeah, it's a problem. And yeah, it's 12 now, or 12 then, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to go up and up and up and up and up, especially if you're not convicting the people that have done it. Anyways, guys, this is all part and part of learning about a country. What I'm enjoying is I'm learning about the entirety of Sweden, not just the positive things about Sweden. And guys, there's a lot of positive stuff in Sweden. I love your country. There's a lot, but you have to learn about the negative aspects of a country as well, because no country is perfect. England is not perfect, trust me. We have a big problem with knife crime. Yeah, you can't get a hold of guns as easily, maybe, as you can in Sweden. I mean, there is gun violence in the UK, but mostly stabbings is a big problem, which is a lot of the time a little bit more gruesome than shooting somebody. Stabbing someone is a slow death. It's painful. It's horrible, and we have a problem with that in the UK. So I'm not judging Sweden. I'm just learning about the country as a whole, and I hope it gets better. I really do. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I will see you very soon.